Hello, mountain bike fans, and welcome to the recap of the Pro XCT series. The T stands for Tour. Week 2 of the Pro XCT, and it took place in Vail Lake in California. And we had fast racing, we had pack racing, different what we saw in week 1 at Bonelli. This track was wide open, and we are going to start with the women's race where your world champion Kate Courtney went out front early. The only one that could chase her was Erin Huck, giving up about 10 to 12 seconds in the early laps, but Huck's able to bridge up with 2 to go. Takes the lead with 1 to go with Courtney on her wheel. There's a chase group about 3 minutes back. Leah Davison's there, Haley Smith's there, Sophia Gomez-Vichafanye. They are fighting for the 3rd spot on the podium because up front, it's Courtney and Huck battling it out. On the uphill switchbacks, Courtney attacks as she increases her lead in the technical descent through the BMX section and wins it by 14 seconds. Huck, in a strong showing, comes in second. Haley Smith, you know she's got the speed. She showed it by winning the short track at Bonelli, and she's able to take 3rd spot on the day, outsprinting Vichafanye, who comes in for 4th, and later Leah Davison finishing up the wide-angle podium for 5th place. As we move over to the men's race, it's the Canadian trio of Peter DeSerra, Leandre Bouchard, and Andrew L'Esperance. The 4th line, the Energy guys. They went out hard and gapped the field early, but it was not over by any means as a strong chase group formed, led by Chris Blevins, Keegan Swenson, and Bonelli winner Jose Gerard Uola. The shift change came in lap 4 as the chase caught up and 7 riders rode together heading into the final laps. Possibly doing some pre-race scouting, Blevins used the same spot as Courtney to attack, with only DeSerra and L'Esperance able to keep his wheel. And then he calls on the BMX background. Blevins crushing the technical parts and holding off the Canadians to take the win at Vail Lake. He said after the race, he may not have been the fastest, but he was the smartest. DeSerra ended up finishing second with L'Esperance coming in 3rd. Bouchard finished 4th with Uola in the 5th spot. So with another exciting week of racing in the books, where does that leave us? What's the storylines we're watching? What's the narrative? Who's leading the Pro XCT? Let's look at our power rankings. Let's look at the top 5, and let's start with our women. In the 5 spot, this one's a toss-up. Chloe Woodruff, strong showing with a 3rd place at Bonelli, but caught a cold before Vail Lake, chose not to race. Sophia Gomez-Vichafanye placed 11th at Bonelli, but jumped up the standings to 4th at Vail Lake. It's a tough call. They're coming in with the same points, but at least for this week, we're giving it to Vichafanye in the 5th spot. Moving up to the 4th spot, it's the Canadian Haley Smith, muscling her way into a U.S. stronghold at the top of the rankings. Another racer more at home with Vail Lake's fast pace. She was 10th in Bonelli before working her way to the 3rd step on the podium at Vail Lake. 4th place goes to the Canadian Haley Smith. Coming in at number 3 in our power rankings is Leah Davison. Always there, always dangerous, coming from behind in every race. The Show Air 2020 rider is getting stronger every week with 2 top 5 finishes and looking for more. And that brings us to our 2nd-ranked racer, Erin Huck. The Pro XCT season is young, but so far it has come down to 2 riders who have set themselves apart from the rest of the strong field of racers competing in the Pro XCT. Huck was the only rider challenging Kate Courtney at Bonelli and Vail Lake as she topped the world champ in the Vail Lake short track. Coming back from the wrist injury that kept her on the sidelines most of last year, Huck is looking to do some damage at the World Cup level, and she's looking on track for success. Your number 2 rider, Erin Huck. And at the top of the ladder, it's not really a surprise. Number 1 rider, the world champ, honoring the rainbow stripes with 2 strong victories is your undisputed number 1, Kate Courtney. Not much more to say. Nobody's going to outwork the Scott SRAM star, and so far she's proving that world championship ride was no fluke. Moving to the men, and where the women's side was dominated by U.S. riders, the men's side is a bit more of a North American affair with an emphasis on the North part. Coming in at number 5, the first of our Canadians represented in this week's power rankings is Andrew L'Esperance. Following a top 10 finish up in Bonelli, he found the Vail Lake track a little more to his liking, ending up on the podium in 3rd. In 4th place, on the Pivot Cycle's blue line, is Leandre Bouchard, Mr. Consistency with 2 4th place finishes and an appropriate 4th spot in our power rankings. In the 2nd and 3rd spot, we have another toss-up. 2 riders with equal points in the Pro XCT. A tough call, but we're giving it to the revelation of Bonelli, the mountain goat, Jose Gerardo Uola, a little out of his element with a faster profile at Vail Lake, but still able to fight with the front group and finish 5th. Uola is the one to watch, and he is number 3 in your standings. And in a close call, our second place finisher, right above Jose Gerardo in the Pro XCT Power Rankings, is the American, taking the momentum from his silver medal at the U23 Worlds and a full-on commitment to racing mountain bikes. Christopher Blevins is coming out of the gate strong. A broken chain at Benelli dropped him to 5th in the XC race, but revenge was sweet at Vail Lake as he took the win. Combined with a strong showing in the short track, we're giving him the edge this week. Blevins is in the 2 spot, which leaves the top spot for Peter DeSera. The Norco Factory team rider may still be looking for that top step of a Pro XCT race, but 2 impressive performances and 2 second step finishes give him the slight edge for top spot in our Pro XCT Power Rankings. And that's where we stand. An exciting start to the season and wide open races for Pro XCT supremacy as we look forward to 2 races at Sea Otter, an HC-XC race on Thursday, April 10, and a Cat 3 race on Saturday the 13th. We will be back with all the actions from those races and the latest Pro XCT Power Rankings in our next episode. Got your own take on the Pro XCT? Hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag ProXCT. Until next time, I'm Bill Scheiken for USA Cycling.